Hi, my name is instructor Jennifer Wallace. I've been doing martial arts for 20 years, and I'm just going to quick explain to you my tri-block system. It's basically based on the fact that you're going to go to your safest angle of defense, opposed to trying to assume what your opponent's going to do. And there's only 3 blocks in this system, and you can pretty much block just about anything that anyone throws at you. So Roger is one of my students, and basically the first thing I always want to do when I'm in an altercation is try to defuse the situation. If I can't do that, then I am going to kind of set up my opponent so that I can defend the safest way possible. So what I mean by that is if he's threatening me, I'm going to keep distance as much as I can, because if he stands where he's at and he punches without moving, he's not going to be able to reach me back here. I know mentally he has to step to me in order to punch, and if I step where he steps, I'm going to end up in his blind spot. So my goal is to be at the shoulder or behind the shoulder anytime that I'm defending, if at all possible. Now to take that one step further, if he has a friend over here, or he has a friend on his other side, I cannot go to this direction if there's another person standing here. So when I say safest angle of defense, I am choosing at the point the altercation starts, am I going to move to my right or am I going to move to my left? What is safest for me? Is there ice on my right? Is there a curb on my left? Is there a wall on my left? What is there? Is there an obstacle, a person, or an object? Something that's going to cause me to fall or cause me to be stuck in between 2 people? That's going to be my decision of where I'm going to go. So the whole goal of this system is to take out the thought process of looking at the throat, the chest, the shoulders, the feet, when trying to guess where my opponent's going to throw from. I can't anticipate, sometimes you can, what my opponent's going to throw. Is he going to throw a hook, an uppercut, a jab, a cross, a kick, a knee? Sometimes you can read that, sometimes you can't. And when you misread that opponent is where you have the biggest problem. So the whole goal of the system is not only that it's a good blocking system, is that mentally you're already preparing yourself for defending at the safest angle possible. So again, we defend from the safest angle, meaning I am going to move in my safest angle of defense. So I may move different directions while I'm explaining this. I might move Roger from one side to another. I'm going to try to give you the best angle that I can because it's just me and him, so I have a stationary camera. What I want you to kind of take a look at is this over here. Roger, go ahead and stand over here. This is a good grid layout that I use when I teach my students how to move, because there's some really important key components to this 3-block system. It's how you block and how you step, and how you move is the same every single time, which allows you to have a set pattern to start with and then adjust depending on the type of attack. So what I mean here, I have tighter than a 45. This is probably a 30, 35 degree angle, because I always want to be in tight to my opponent. I don't want to, if Roger throws a left, I don't want to block and be way out here, because he can just turn his whole body and strike me. I want to make it so that he can't strike me. So when he steps here and I block here, I want to be in as tight as possible. And if you look here, I have the straight lines here. It's just a reminder that I want my feet straight when I get here, okay? Go ahead and stand over here for a second. So ideally, when I step forward, and I'm going to use this as an example, I will always step straight with my foot and then turn towards my opponent. And if you see here, I am in line with this line here to give you an idea. So if Roger stands right here, and I'm going to actually have you face that direction, but stand right here. Turn this way. Perfect. So if Roger was to strike at me and I were to step, I am going to face him. We're going to be almost parallel to start. Now, if he comes back, just move back like an elbow strike, I'm going to be able to adjust and step to gain more strength or more leverage. But I want to be in this blind spot because from here, I can attack and I can take down any way that I want. So I want you to kind of get that concept before I start. I will always step straight, no matter how I block with my foot. And I'll show you here. I'm always going to step straight with this foot. So if you see I'm parallel with this line, then I will turn to my opponent to attack or to take down. So the second thing that I will always do, and I'm going to have you move right over here, Roger. Thank you, is I'm always going to block with my inside hand. So what I mean by that is when my opponent strikes, we're going to start with a straight punch. When my opponent strikes, I'm always going to use my inside hand to block that strike. This is my first assumption always when I'm blocking. If it ends up being a hook, an uppercut, a kick, an elbow, something else, I'm going to adjust for that. So I'm always going to protect, hands up. I can be in a fighting stance if you get more comfortable. You could be in a relaxed stance. If I am moving to my left, I will step with my left and block with my right. Okay? I will do the other side. I step with my right. I go straight forward. I block with my left, and then I move in and I face my opponent every single time. Okay? Again, on this side, step straight, then I turn. This puts me in their blind spot. So you can put your arm down here. I akin this to, I'm driving in my car and I have that blind spot I always have to look at. Well, if he looks at me in this blind spot, I'm just going to strike him. I'm going to grab him. I'm going to take him down however I want. Okay? So it puts me in a really good position for a counter strike, for a takedown, or to just push and run away. Okay? So we have 3 blocks. We have a block for something that comes straight in, which is the one we're doing now. So again, if he punches, I block inside, I step straight, I'm going to turn, I can strike my opponent, I can grab him, and then I can take him down, however I feel like taking him down, all right? If I'm afraid, I can block, I can push, I can gain distance, whatever I need to do. It's a simple, simple block for a straight. It's a straight in punch, that's block number 1. So now what happens if my opponent, I think they're going to throw a straight strike, straight punch, or a palm heel, anything that comes straight in, and they throw a hook, okay? I still step straight. And again, if I pretend like I'm going to block here, but he comes here, I still have this left hand to block that hook. Or this could be an elbow from that side, okay? I still have something. Is it going to hurt? Yeah, it might hurt you, but I can still block it if it's coming around from that side. All right? So again, he comes in. If I catch it early, I can maybe block with 2 hands. If he comes in really, really strong, I can block and push off, and then I can gain distance. Because if you know your body. If you feel like that strike is so strong that you can't block it, you can push off that strike, gain distance, start over, scream bloody murder, move on, whatever you need to do. So what's nice about the second strike, I want you to always remember that my goal, if Roger turns sideways and his arm is out here, my goal is always to be at his shoulder or past his shoulder, no matter what the strike is. So when this hook comes around and I'm here, I cannot get past his shoulder, but I want to think and continue to move like I'm going past his shoulder. And what this does for me is this puts him past a 90-degree angle. If he is forward of a 90-degree, if he pushes on me, he's going to knock me off balance. If I get him past 90 push, I can hold him no problem with one hand. He doesn't have any strength because I brought this shoulder past that 90-degree angle. So everything I'm doing when I step, go ahead and put your arm down. When I step, I'm trying to step past his shoulder. So I am behind him no matter what. I'm going through him. So if I'm not blocking on the outside, I want to go past him. All right? So that being said, if I make the mistake when he throws a straight punch, what happens is a lot of people like to just jump and turn sideways like this. If he throws that hook and he jump and turn sideways, he's going to either hook me into a headlock or he's going to hit me in the back of the head with that hook. So it is very important that when I step, I always step forward and then turn, okay? Always have to step forward and then turn, okay? So that second block we just did works great for hooks, works great for elbows. On this side, I can also use it, believe it or not, if he throws a roundhouse kick, because I'm just stepping in, I'm going to jam that leg automatically if I'm stepping at that angle no matter what. If I'm stepping at that same angle and I'm committing to that angle, I will jam up that roundhouse kick. Okay. Yes, if I don't move quick enough, he might catch me on the hip or the stomach or the thigh, but it beats getting hit in the head. My hands are still up protecting. So again, I'm always cutting that angle the same way. I'm always going to be where I need to be. And I'll show you it from a different direction once I go through all three techniques. So again, the first one, he comes in straight. I'm always blocking in. I keep it tight. What's nice about this is if I'm this tight and he goes to move, I can block it. If he tries to reach over with the other hand, not only can I block it, I can strike, I can come in with my knees, I can do my takedowns, okay? I can do whatever I want once I get there. Also, say he throws a left instead of a right, and I'm still stepping because this was my safest ankle defense, I'm still going to be past where his shoulder originally was, except for I had to block this arm here. Okay, so I'm going to see here. So again, he throws a left, I come in, now I strike more to the front of the face. If he throws a right and then a left, I'm sorry, my bad, left and right, left, right, I'm able to block both of those, attack, and then I can take it down, right? So I don't have to, there's no guesswork. Hey, throw a right hand, I'm used to this right hand, I can block it every time. Then I move, he throws the left, and I go, wait a second, and in the meantime, I'm getting hit with that second punch. I'm taking the guesswork out of, is he going to throw a left or a right? Is he going to throw a hook? Is he going to throw a kick? Is he going to throw an elbow? I don't care. If I protect and I move the way I'm supposed to, if I'm moving to the left, I step to the left, my toes stay forward, straight punch. I block with this inside hand. If he throws a hook, I'm still going to catch it because I have this hand. Do not get in the habit. I have a Kung Fu background, originally straight, or we used to do this kind of stuff. We go like this, boom, 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 right? And we come in, which is great. But if he throws that hook, oh, and I go like this, I miss it. Okay, so again, I have to use that inside hand. All right, then I can strike. Again, if he throws a straight from that left and then that right, I can still block it and I can still strike. All right? If he throws a left and then a right hook, I block it and I block the hook. Now I'm going to take him down a different way, right? But I can block both. So it's a very kind of universal type of system. 2 blocks, that's all we've done. We have a right hand block, and then we have on that hook. You can do a double forearm or a single forearm or a hand block when that hook comes around. This keeps this hand open for me, okay? There's a lot more we can do from here. We can pass around to get to the outside and do other things, but we're just talking about 3-block system today. All right? If he throws a hook from the far side, okay, I'm still stepping. Again, I'm stepping like I'm going to do this original right block. I can block that hook. Okay, elbow from that side. I might do 2 because it's scary, opposed to having just a hook. That elbow can be scary, so I might do 2, and I might push off or strike off and gain distance if I'm feeling like I'm being overwhelmed. I can do that. So those are the first 2 blocks. The last block is kind of like a shield. Best angle. Let's go back here right now. So, over here's good. So when he throws, this is for a low strike. So let's start it straight to the groin. Again, I step straight. All I'm doing is I'm dropping from here down. So I'm going wrist to wrist or arm on that downward block, okay? If he throws from the opposite side, I can do the same thing, strike from here. So it's very ambidextrous. What else can I practice? Front snap, okay? Front snap opposite leg, boom, right? I can come straight in and strike. Again, knee, okay? Every step I take must start forward. If I start turning knee like this, see, I can still block it, but I'm not getting the same angle where I have good strength. This is a little weaker than I'd like to be. All right. Uppercut. Okay. Again. Uppercut. Same block. Uppercut opposite side. Boom. Same block, right? I'm gonna go straight to his head. Whatever I have open, I'm gonna do. So if you notice, every time I step exactly the same. I'm always gonna keep my hands up. I'll start this side. Come over here. Feet come straight. I'm always going to use my straight punch just to show. I'm always going to start with this inside hand block. I'm always going to step straight, and then I'm going to turn. This gives this whole area of my opponent, the side of the face, the shoulder, the back, the kidneys. From here, if you turn this way a little bit, if I'm blocking it right here, I have the groin, the face, the eyes, the ears, the temple, the back of the neck. I can go underneath the groin. I have everything. He does not have a lot from here. Okay? So, I don't have a firearm on me, but this block also works for firearm retention. So if I have my gun on my left, he's just going to reach. Again, I can use the same block. Reach this side. Boom. I can use that same block to help retain firearm if somebody's grabbing for a weapon. Did I miss any strikes right off the top of my head? So again, 3 different blocks. I have to commit. That's the hardest thing about doing this system. I have to commit to my movement. I have to commit to stepping straight forward and then turning, or here, straight forward and then turning towards my opponent. If I don't do that, I risk getting hit, especially with a hook or an elbow. Kicks, again, you can block the same thing. I am using that same angle every time. If I come back over here, Roger, try standing right here for me. Okay, and if you look at this line right here, it's hard to see, but this represents my straight line. This represents the angle that I'm going to move on. So when I practice, if I have my student or my opponent block, they can even start stationary. You're going to step straight towards that line and then turn and face your opponent. And then I can strike and do whatever I need to. That's kind of where this comes from. Step to the right for me. My right. So this line here would be where my opponent would stand, facing me. I would stand back here, facing my opponent. And that's a good way to get a grid to just kind of get an idea of your angles. Again, this is tighter than a 45. You have 3 blocks. So that's my tri-block system. It's a quick overview, not a complete overview, just to give you an idea. Again, we have a straight block, blocks for straight strikes, blocks for low strikes, which is going to be that shield block, which is going to do your gun retention, any striking to the groin, to the stomach, an uppercut. You're going to use that for a front snap kick, a knee, anything that's coming more straight to the body. Anything that's coming more around, I'm going to use like a hook or an elbow. We're going to use that opposite hand. So there's only 3 blocks. Okay. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.